What is going on, guys? This is Versus All Gaming with my review of Hamatora episode 4. And this episode, it was actually pretty good. It was a very solid episode, and we got so much story progression as well, so I definitely enjoyed it a lot. So the episode starts off with us learning about these two new characters, Honey and Three. And we learned that Honey, she can see 10 minutes into the future, and that right there is a definite awesome ability. But the thing is, she is so attached to her device, which she called Mighty, and so that right there was kind of weird. But overall, she's a pretty good solid character. And then we have like this big guy that kind of has the face of a lion. His name is Three, and this guy is not a people person at all. He gets very shy or like nervous around them, because we see when they have a phone call, rather than him answering it, he actually pulled the phone out so that way the call would end. But we learned that, with Honey's power, she actually found this guy that was planning on killing this guy that would give him a speech. And luckily, they had got there in time to not only stop him, but to knock him out. So her ability, I am digging it. It's like kind of a game, so to say. Like the way it looks, it looks almost like a game. So her power, like I said, is pretty good. But then we go to our heroes here. We have Nice, Birthday, Raito, and Murasaki, and we also have Koniko. And they're like filming some commercial apparently, because these people, or the academy here, they are damage controlling the situation that had broke out last time with that guy Takihara, I think his name was. We all know that in the last episode he got a power, but that power it had controlled him instead, and it made him kind of freak out and become like a purple Hawk being. So they had one to like damage control that, so people wouldn't freak out, and he also want everybody to calm down and keep everybody civilized, because of course if people start fearing these minimum holders, then that right there definitely won't be a good thing. So they want to like put them over at the commercial. And they made our heroes here have these like ridiculous nicknames, like Nice was like Speed Taro. We have Raito as the Mad Doctor. We had Birthday, I forgot his, but Murasaki's, his was like Four Eyes, and that right there, which is hilarious. But after the commercial's over, we actually learned that they are like the second most popular video right now, and we have all of them enjoying it, especially Birthday and Nice. But Murasaki, like right now, he's kind of upset, and he's very salty. Like he was getting everybody's faces, yelling at them about this. But Raito wasn't there, as he was at his real job, where he was like looking at this woman who wanted to get checked out before she went on a trip to Hawaii. But the main problem that Murasaki had, it was his own nickname, which is Four Eyes. So that right there was hilarious. But we actually learned that the most popular video right now is of this guy acting. And this video right here plays a huge part in the episode. I didn't know that it was going to be so big till later on, but that video right there was very important. But now we have Art and his partner, and they had arrived at the scene of a crime where we have this 15-year-old boy that had tried to rob this store. And when they're questioning him, we learn that he obtained this gun from an email. And as soon as he answered the question in his email, he got the gun. So that right there, it was definitely kind of weird. And then, Art, he had called Nice out there to ask him something. And we have Nice chasing this dog because he had stole, some money from him. And Nice had used his power to capture this dog. So that right there was funny. Like, this guy hates using power for like dumb things, and yet he actually still does it anyway. So that right there was hilarious. So of course, Nice and Art were talking, and Art was actually asking him about something, because he knew that like something was definitely wrong with that boy in last episode, because somebody had to grant his wish and give him that power. So he asked Art if he knew something, but Art wouldn't tell him about morale. And that right there, really surprised me, because you would think he'll tell him, so that way, they could go out there and catch this guy. But Art was saying that he thinks that these two should like never meet. And that right there surprised me, because, I do have a feeling that Nice will definitely be the one to take this guy down. So I do wonder, when they'll meet. and how they'll meet if Art, you know, never brings them up. So I'm very interested in that in the future. But now we have Honey and 3. They were in this airport, and somehow Honey luggage, or her briefcase, it got mixed up. So not only did she like lose her snack, but she also lost her mighty. So now they had to go report that. But while 3 was like taking care of it, Honey actually got kidnapped, and so of course now there's no way that 3 is gonna leave her behind. So he had to go out there and, you know, go out there and get her. But while these guys were like taking Honey away, they definitely weren't the nicest kind of people, because they, like, at one point they even threatened her with a knife. So clearly these guys weren't playing around. But this is when the episode, you know, gets really funny, because we see that, you know, another car bumps into them. But not only is it 3, but it's also that old lady that we saw in the previous episode. Because while 3 was, you know, apologizing to her, she was still wondering if she could make her trip in time. But then we have 3, you know, get on top of that van that they were in, and we see that the way he like activates his power is by him saying a prayer. And I'm not gonna lie, that right there, it was actually pretty badass. I actually like the way that, you know, he kind of changes, and even the way he activate his power, like that right there, I also like as well. To me, that right there was cool. But we see that his strength, it just like amplifies, and he easily, you know, tears the roof off that van. And so once him and Honey, you know, are united again, well, like later on, we see them go to a hotel where they break in. And we see that the guy that had her briefcase instead, they like quickly took care of him, because like even though they weren't his enemy, it's like Honey said, they weren't his friend either. So they definitely weren't going to be nice to him as well. But we have all the people here trying to figure out how in the world are they getting this, you know, this email. And so we have Koniko, who was actually searching the web for a gun, and then she got the email. So of course now she was like wondering, you know, how did this happen, and she didn't even know how she got it. But then we go to Nice, who was talking to this to the information broker, and I don't think he knew something as well. But you know, they were like talking for a bit, but Nice finally went back to Art. And Art was actually trying to convince, I'm guessing, their chief to go out, like to send every troop out there to like any store that could be hit up, or any place that could be attacked. But of course he wouldn't just do that. But luckily, you know, Nice have finally figured out, you know, what all these, you know, victims, or you know, what all these kids have in common, and they were all, you know, they were users on these high video sites, and the most played video right now, it was that acting one. But once the acting, it was lowered, we see that there's this hidden message inside the video where you have to be really young to hear it perfectly. And of course that right there kind of like brainwashes the kids to actually accept the gun. So that hidden message right there actually came from, you know, this guy in Morale, and Morale had granted somebody the beauty minimum, which, you know, allowed them to look much better on a camera rather than in real life, because we saw that the guy that had this power, he was kind of like a slob. And so we see that, you know, this guy was like freaking out because he had been caught, and we see that the cops, they actually had information on this guy as well, so they knew where he lived. And so this guy, the holder, he was actually going to the cops because he had nothing to do with this. And even Morale, he really did not commit a crime, because it's the kids that have like this thirst for violence. They are the ones that said yes. So neither one of them can like really be blamed for this. But while this guy was like walking off, we just see that Morale just like pulled out this gun and shot him. And I'm not gonna lie, like that right there I didn't expect. And the way that, you know, it just happened so easily, it goes to show you that this guy definitely does not play around. But of course, you know, But of course we know that the Cubs are going there, and even if they go there, it's not like that the plan he has going on right now will stop. And so then Art had no choice but to contact Honey, who could use her powers to look in the future, because she has the analysis minimum where she could look into possible futures and pick. I believe it was like picking the best outcome or the most common one. And so she was able to figure out that something was going to happen in this place called Cosmoland, and we just see all these kids there. They were definitely looking like they were like planning something. So luckily we have Nice and Art. They have the cops, and Nice had Hamatora to go there and deal with these kids, and we just see that they're getting arrested. But some of these kids definitely were not going out without a fight, because we see them pulling out guns and fighting back. But luckily, nobody got hurt, and they all got arrested. And then we had Morale pull out the chainsaw, and we saw blood coming from it. So even though he shot the guy in the head, I'm guessing he could like still use the brain or repair it somehow. I'm not really sure. But he took that guy's head back, and he left his apartment, but not before like puncturing it with like darts. And he put this like doll right where his head should be. So that right there was like kind of creepy. But we see when Art and Nice finally arrived, they were like way too late. And then we have Morale here walking the streets where he passed this kid that was like sneezing, and he put this bloody coat on him and to continue to walk on. So even though this guy can be a little nice, he is still a sadistic freak. But like I said, this episode, it was definitely nice. Like, it had some moments that definitely shocked me, and we saw two awesome characters. I'm definitely digging Honey and 3, and I do hope that they stick around and possibly join Hamatora, or it's possible that they could already be part of it. But as always, please do not forget to like the video and subscribe, because that really helps me out. And you guys take it easy, and I will see you all next time.